Welcome back to Estate Agency Mastery, Season 4. Don't even know what episode we're on, but it doesn't matter. I'm joined by Nelly. Nelly, thank you so much for coming in.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me, mate.
You know the score, right? Whether you're in Birmingham, Belfast, Bognor Regis, right? That's the tagline. He loves it. But this is a bit different, right? Yeah. Normally, you know, you're one of the top agents at TAUK and you've got a brilliant online following. If you don't follow Nelly, go and follow him. We'll put him in the show notes. But actually, I don't care about any of that. I want to get under the skin of you, your mental wellness, and how you protect your mindset when the chips are down.
Yeah.
And what I want to do is get 2 or 3 tips from you, or scenarios, or coping mechanisms, whatever they are, that you've got your nephew and niece in the room today, right? On work experience.
Yeah.
And I ultimately kind of want this to be if they choose to go into business and set up their own thing, what advice would you give them that maybe you wouldn't as a weird one-to-one, but they were to watch this back in 5-10 years time and be like, right, we really get it now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. It does make sense. So look, I think first of all, this industry is so incredibly hard for mental health, isn't it? Especially when you become self-employed. So I think first of all, before discussing anything, how do I deal with that day in, day out? And that is literally by leaning on the people that I trust the most, whether that be fellow agents, family, friends, or stuff that I have complete control over, and rituals, so going to the gym, playing paddle, doing some sport, where anything to release that sort of those endorphins to get a bit of a dopamine hit, especially when it's going down. Yeah. As you know, we all know it's not just about opening doors, selling houses. It's actually we've become people's sort of emotional punch bag for the amount of stress and emotion that all of this carries. Yeah. So it's dealing with that day in, day out, and then taking it home, and then having to have the pressures at home of being, a provider, as well as my wife, in equal measure. But shall we say, you still don't want to let that person down because of the stress that she's going through at work as well. Everyone's going through a really tough day, and I'm a strong believer that in no matter what job you do, the amount of stress you feel, i.e. the amount of stress hormone your body releases, you're going to feel that no matter whether you're running into a building to save someone because you're a firefighter, or dealing with a fall through and helping someone manage that stress as well. So yeah, they're just some of the things that I do, mate.
They're hard. So when we met, nearly 2 years ago now, we both were in a hot tub together. Don't know why I shared that, but we both had kind of similar conversations, which is why I wanted to get you on the pod. And we both said we weren't where we wanted to be fitness-wise, right? Yeah. And I'm a massive advocate. I put up a progress shot every Sunday, and some people are really supportive. Some of the lads give me some stick. Some of my female mates are like, "You're thirst trapping," right? all of that stuff. But
Which one is it?
Yeah, it's all three. But I do it for probably all those reasons. But deep down, I'm a massive advocate in how you show up is how you show up. So if I'm going to commit to fitness, I want to commit to that in the same way I'm going to commit to growing a business, right? So I'm going to try and play all out. I know you've gone on a journey. We did a high rocks together, but we missed each other and all that stuff. So talk to me about that paddle, the fitness bit. Why is that important to decrease that cortisol?
I think you need it to decompress. Like, it's something completely away from the business that when you're doing it, you can't do it half-assed. So what I'm saying is, when you're fighting for your life in a high rocks, just trying to get through one more rep, it's impossible to think about work. Yeah. Because your body's like, I feel like I'm about to die, and I've still got 250 meters left on the rower. So that's all you're thinking about. Similarly to paddle, you're in it, it's a team sport, you play doubles. When that ball's up in the air and you're 40 love down on your serve, you don't want to get broken. You ain't thinking about the deal that's about to fall through, or the client that's going through something really, really tough. But we all need that time away. And I think by committing to something 100%, it's only going to help you out.
So where I'm struggling at the moment is I'm doing less functional and more weights in the gym, because I'm having to spend the time in between sets on stuff. But you've just reminded me of something which is completely right, and it links to what Mark was saying in the last episode of, I was doing a no-gi jiu-jitsu when Lily was born, right? Yeah. And I loved it. stopped because I got a bit injured and I was knackered and everything else. But I remember people saying to me, why do you do that? And I was like, if someone's trying to choke you out, the last thing you're thinking about is cash flow.
That's exactly it, right?
Or at that time I was doing a startup, right? And I was like, my investor pool and where do we go and who's my chairman? You're not thinking about any of that, and you have to have that downtime. If you're just sat in front of the TV or you're on your phone,
it's not
you
real
will
downtime.
go there.
It's not real downtime. You know, the amount of times that I sit down to watch a Netflix show or YouTube or football, and your mind starts to drift when something gets a little bit boring. You pick up your phone, you start looking at that email, you start seeing that WhatsApp. So it's not real downtime. And similarly, I absolutely agree with you actually, when you are doing your strength training and you're doing sets, you've got to rest 2 minutes or a minute and a half in between sets. What do you do?
Yeah.
You either go on Twitter, you scroll through Instagram, you start looking at what other people are doing, you see, you know, amazing agents like Grant Bates, Tanya Baker, Downwards, Jack Terry's, like all of these people within our industry, and you see that they've sold one more house, or you see that they've done this. That isn't downtime. That's just that's the raising that cortisol level straight back up again and thinking, you know what am I doing here? I need to get out of here. So I think, listen, I used to roll in jiu-jitsu. There's absolutely no way you're thinking of anyone when you're either trying to choke someone out or you're being choked out.
Mate, I'm with you. And funny enough, I said this year, my 40th year, I'd go back to some kind of martial art twice a week. I haven't as yet. I'm halfway through. So this is my reminder.
Yeah, man.
So thank you.
I've done a white collar MMA fight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, back in 2021, I think it was. Back when I was still in agency, and yeah, that was good for the body.
Yeah.
Good for the mind as well. Like really cool. Do it, man. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else? What do you want to share to our listeners, that when the chips are down or you're struggling, or even when it's going really well, but you have to remind yourself to stay in abundance, gratitude, all of that stuff?
Like I said, I think whenever something does go down, celebrate the wins. But also, it's a roller coaster of a game, isn't it? So yesterday it can be a win, today it can be a loss. And when you are self-employed, those highs are super high and those lows are super low. So just talk to people. We're building out teams now, which I think is really important to have that. A lot of it isn't so we've got more agents coming somewhere. It's more so we can help cover each other's viewings while someone's on holiday. Take the time to yourself. You know, it's too normalised, in my opinion, the 5 a.m. club and getting up early and working more than anyone else to do it. Actually, that just causes burnout.
I've been there.
Stay away from burnout. Yes, work hard, of course. And I'm not saying don't have any stress. You have to have some stress to function. Funny enough, I was speaking to a good friend of mine, Jack, groomsman at my wedding, and he's in sports psychology. And players, he's in football. Players, there's a lot of studies on this. Players don't perform well when there's no stress at all. So when you're winning 5-0, you tend to find that performance drops. However, when it's a 0-0 situation, you tend to find that your passes are sharper and everything else. But then you go the other way and you're losing 3-0, then the pressure's on and there's too much stress, and then you start being tight and so on and so forth. So the idea is that's really translatable to everything else we do as well. If you're just sitting there happy, loads of money in the bank, don't have to worry factors, you're probably not pushing yourself, you're probably quite comfortable. If you've got no money in the bank, you're probably too stressed. Yeah. But if you've got somewhere in the middle where your back's up against the wall a little bit and you still need to perform and provide for your family, that's probably when you perform best. So it's trying to remain optimal in that level of a little bit of stress is good, but not loads.
So you said something at the start, which so way back when I was in the States in a room with Gary Keller, who is like the Steve Jobs of real estate in my view. Grew the biggest brokerage in the world, and I was with his top 100 realtors in the States, a little old Chris from London, right? And he was massive on book your time off for yourself first, book your time with your family, and then book your time for your jiu-jitsu, your paddle, your high rocks, and then fit work around it. But where you're on it. There's no half heart, but I can only go till 4 o'clock today, and then I've got to spend it with the family. So we've got, in the team I'm growing in London, we've got, if I say Cliff, 5 o'clock every single day, he gets a call from me just to go, stop work now, spend it with the family. Because he knows he will work over and he's been not spending time with his young kids and he won't get that time back. I don't ask him about his real estate. I don't ask him about any vows he's done. I don't ask him about his lead gen. We tend to get there. But I'll just go stop work now, and that, or even just a quick text. Because that's what he needs.
And do you know what? Funny you mentioned Cliff. I know I've dealt with Cliff a couple of times, and when he is on it, he's so on it.
Yeah.
He is so on it. So I can only imagine that's a good thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? And doing stuff like this, obviously I've got my niece and nephew here doing work experience with me and stuff. So this week is going to be a little bit quieter in that sense because I'm showing them the ropes, but that provides me some form of happiness outside of work as well. So spend time with family, mate, yeah, for sure.
All right, so we've got prioritizing your time.
Yeah.
We've got getting your cortisol to a healthy level.
Yeah.
Really great tip. What else do you want to share?
So yeah, talking about it, like I said, talking about your lows like you do with Cliff, or being accountable to someone as well, I think is a really important one. So another example, I was with a friend the other day, recently became self-employed, having his own sort of window business, building business, and finding it really difficult because he's got 2 kids at home, goes home, feels like he's not present for them because he's dealt with all the stress, no time to decompress.
Yeah.
And he says, I don't get to talk to anyone. I can't talk to my wife because she then thinks I'm moaning about the day.
Yeah.
I can't talk to my business partners because they're reliant on me to provide the work for them. So when it's tough, who do I really turn to? So I think lean on each other a little bit more, right?
So having that
confident, or someone that you can call even once a week. How often do guys call up each other and go, how are you? No agenda.
Yeah.
How you doing? What's going on? I think just having someone that you can do that with and having a really good, strong core of group of friends.
It's really interesting. So I went through some business struggles about 4 years ago where it was like we're in trouble here, and we might need to sue someone, and it's a nasty time and liquidation and everything else. At the same time, a guy that I'd sold a house to 10 years ago, and we just kept in contact, and his wife at the time was like, you guys were really good friends.
Really?
I didn't like him when I showed him around the house. I was like, you want to knock through this garage? He's like, nah, mate, I'm getting a Porsche. I was like, you knob. He's one of my best mates now, and he's about to get remarried. He's like, you're going to be my best man.
Wow.
But we, throughout that period, we rang each other every single day.
Yeah.
And I made sure that if I hadn't heard from him by 5 o'clock, I would ring him and just go, how are you getting on?
Yeah.
And we got each other through a really, really tough period. And we both literally went on the exact same journey at the same time. Then we both divorced at the same time. But having each other where I can ring him even now.
Yeah.
But also he will go, can I be really direct? Which I love. And I'll go, stop you. And he just give it me straight. Is so powerful.
And when you're talking to someone, I'm not saying, that you can't be honest with someone and lie to them to make them feel better. If anything, that's worse because you're enabling bad behaviour in whatever form that appears to be appearing. It's about true friendships, about being honest with each other, right?
Yeah, and direct.
And direct and calling someone out on the bullshit. If there is bullshit, or going, you're bringing this on yourself, what are you going to do to change it?
Yeah.
Nothing like a little bit of tough love. My mum used to give me a lot of
that.
So it keeps you honest.
Mate, I've got another one, a very good friend of mine. He knows he needs to make some changes in his business.
Yeah.
And cash flow's tight, but he's not prepared to change them. And I'm all over him like a rash because I'm like, if you do not make these changes, you might not get through the next 6 months.
And I think that goes on to the next thing that we could say, self-accountability. Be your own biggest critic. It's a tough one, right? But sometimes you have to look inward and go, am I being the best version of myself? Am I taking the right amount of time for myself? Am I being the best husband, the best partner, the best father? It's a lot of pressure to stick on someone, but I think unless you're able, you don't have to talk about that with anyone, but you should be able to have that inner monologue with yourself and ask yourself those tough questions.
So how, in a world where you're doing your paddle for your mental health, you've recently got married, you're running a very successful business, your social, how do you find the time to have those conversations with the wall?
They're the conversations that when you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning that you do have with yourself. And we all know that feeling.
I've been having those the last few nights.
And that's anxiety, right? So then that's maybe, it's just understanding, reading up on stuff and being willing to be self-critical.
Yeah.
It's so easy to point the finger at the world.
Look inwards first, right?
It's so easy to do that, but actually the person that has the most amount of power to change anything is yourself.
Yeah, of course.
So you have to find the time. Whether that's on the way to an appointment, whether that's waking up at 3 in the morning and writing a list of things you've got to do, whether that's in between sets at the gym.
Yeah. Do you know what? You're right.
There is
right.
time. There is time.
And I've been on a journey of that recently where I've realised that everything in my world is solid, but my values are fun, family, growth in that order.
Love that.
So if I'm not having fun, I'm not going to be the best dad, the best friend, etc. So I have to be P1, which I said in the last podcast. It took me 4 years to realise that I need to be priority one, not everyone else around me. Because if I'm the best version of me, I can then give to everyone else.
Yeah, if you say yes to everyone,
you can't, right?
You can't do it, yeah.
Family, great, but growth. I was like, the business TAUK, as you know, is growing. TAUK London's great.
Yeah.
But how do we really? I went to that self-critical space of how do I throw this thing on steroids? And not take on quality. You know, what we all talk about. We want to be the best, and if we happen to be the biggest by being the best, great. But we can't let those standards drop.
Yeah.
And so I've had to have a lot of those conversations the last 4 weeks and turn around to my business partners, Kenny, Andy, Steph, Mark, and go, right, here's my idea. Are you in? But if I wouldn't have had those thoughts of how do I get there and those values set, I'd probably be trundling at the end of the year versus I want to be steaming, if that makes sense.
No, that makes complete sense to me. And it's, I think we've all just got to have those moments, right? But mate, Talk London's going from strength to strength, isn't it? So
we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Just hired someone up in Highgate from Foxtons. And what's really nice is, I'm going very off-piste, is you've got DDREs, you've got your Harding Greens, and we're at the table now.
Yeah.
People still might go, well, my mate's there, or, you know.
But everyone's a little bit like, what's that? What's what are you doing?
Well, I was at an event the other day and someone was like, I see the Sunday Times and I've seen your podcast. There we are. So I'm like, here we go. So we're starting.
Traction's coming along.
Will come.
There's no such thing as perfection. I think that's the last thing I'm going to say. No one's perfect. We all have moments of weakness, if that's what you want to call it, even though it's not that. Vulnerability and humanity is probably the better word. And the moment you think you're perfect is the moment that stuff starts crumbling. So I think it's just trying to do something a little bit better than you did it the day before. And it's okay if the next day you're worse. It's fine. Just keep trying.
Trying to move the needle each day.
Exactly, mate,
Fine. All right, I'm going to curveball you because we finished a little earlier than maybe we should have done. Is there anything you had on your list? I know I dug you out. Is there anything we haven't discussed that you wanted to? If not, fine.
Hit me up.
I'm a massive advocate on books, but I've also got ADHD, so I start 400 of them and finish 2.
Fun fact, I've never read a book in my life.
Okay.
I've never finished the book. I've attempted to finish loads.
I'm off to Marrakesh tomorrow. I've ordered 3. I might as well just burn them. But I will then, I'll go on to podcasts. So if I start the book and I like it, start with why, I'll then go and watch the TED Talk on it with Simon Sinek or whatever. So what... and I also am I was with someone, a loved one, last week, and I said, I need to change because what they were talking about was, have you seen this, and that? And I was like, everything you're talking about offers no value to you in your life, versus my Instagram feed is literally great real estate agents and things that are to do with growth mindset, inspirational people, business people. So I said to that loved one, I really want to change your algorithm because you're looking at a load of shite and it's presenting you shite, versus mine will show me realtor sales scripts hey, I appreciate they dropped on their commission, but how do you expect them to negotiate on your biggest asset? Pause, like all of that stuff, right? How do you condition your mind? What external forces do you put in? Is it podcasts such as Estate Agency Mastery Season 4? What is it that keeps you thinking the way you do?
Oh, mate, I tell you what, I think social media is one of the toughest things, and discipline is so hard on that, right? Because the amount of confirmation bias that it throws at you is a joke, especially places like X, formerly Twitter. Should be still called Twitter, but anyway.
You call it Twitter, right?
But I think it's almost being disciplined in terms of limiting screen time or something like that, but how hard is that, right?
There's an app called OneSync.
Okay.
And you can basically, when you open a social media such as Facebook, and you can set it for Insta, and I need to for Insta, you have to breathe for 10 seconds before you can actually go, and then it goes, do you really want to go in or not? I now don't go onto Facebook.
Yeah, wow.
But I do go WhatsApp, Instagram. It's going out of fashion. I've also, again, we discussed in the last one, I've got a phone safe where every night I check my phone in but I don't know what the code is. So
and then it only releases at a certain time.
Yeah, the only annoying thing is I have an 8:30 alarm to remind me to do my stretching, and it's going off in this set, and I can't get in. I'm like, you idiot, Chris. But yeah, so
like, to answer your question, I think a lot of it as well is routine. It's like giving yourself a solid routine, like what you've just said. Phone goes in the phone safe. That's it.
Yeah.
Having your stretching routine in the morning, that's it. And that's why I think stuff like the 5 a.m. club, it's not necessarily about showing how much stronger you're working than anyone else. It's giving you that amount of time in the morning to have routine.
So Mark was huge on this, right? And I don't go on my phone for the first half an hour of the day. I just won't do it.
See, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I'm so bad.
And if I can give you one thing, a challenge, it's to not let your phone usurp your day.
Okay.
Because if you go on and you see a vendor say we're pulling out,
so true.
that conditions your mind for the rest of the day. Whereas if you get up, do your movement, do whatever, be positive with your new wife, whatever you need to do, make each other coffees. Mark was saying he doesn't allow, I love this, the energy of his bedroom to be taken over by work. So if anything comes in, he does it downstairs and he won't check his email in bed stuff.
Yeah,
really cool.
Really cool.
So that's my challenge for you.
Okay.
But routine is super important. It's something that I got so good at, and then
it's so easy to lose.
And then the habits disappeared because of certain things, right?
But I think, of course, life happens, right? But also, I think that's why I like going to the gym or meal prepping for something or doing something, because it forces you to build a routine. That if you have a goal in mind, such as a high rocks, you have to go and train for it. Or you have to, you want a certain physique, you have to then meal prep and eat a certain amount. So I think personally, that routine, you should always have a goal in mind for something to challenge you. You've just given me a challenge, so I'm going to take that on. The only reason I've done a high rock, yours one of the reasons I've done a high rock, because we spoke about it. But no,
make sure we cut that out.
But it's literally having something that's going to challenge you every single turn in your life. Last year I wanted to lose weight because of my wedding. Then you said you was doing a high rock, so I want to do a high rock because I'm competitive. When I was doing the MMA, the reason I'd done that was to raise money for cancer charity, cancer research, but also to then challenge me, because I know that by giving myself routine and setting a challenge, I'll get something at the end of it.
And you know, it's so true, because I hate running.
So boring.
I like doing a 35-minute or 45-minute walk a day. And I like lifting really heavy things.
Just simple.
And sometimes lifting heavy things with my legs. Sometimes, right? Whereas my sister, when we were in Spain last week, said to me, just so we've only got 2.5 months till October now. It's longer than that, but she knew exactly what she was doing. So I started high rocks training again this week, right? So, and it's funny, completely off piece, but this will make you smile. My high rocks training in Virgin in Bromley, so every time I was looking over last week, I was doing chest, but I'd drop the weights and then just start doing lunges in front of him, and he'd be crying. As soon as he looked, I'd be back on the weights.
Love that.
But yeah, it's so true. Having a fight, like I have to do, run around and with high rocks. I know it's stupid, but you have to have your top off, right?
100%.
And you can't be doing that if you don't feel and look great. So it all goes hand in hand, right?
I mean, my friend of mine, he's a dad. He's a busy dad, and he signed up to Brighton Marathon. He obviously trained for that, and then all of a sudden something clicked in his mind where he wasn't a particular fan of running. He used to play a lot of football, but he was like, actually, I'm going to start documenting my journey a little bit. And then he created an Instagram account. And then he thought, actually, what am I? I'm a really busy dad that is now starting to find a bit of a love and passion for running. And he's now created an Instagram page that's called Moody Runs. Follow it. And he's just giving tips and stuff, really simple stuff, not trying to teach anyone to be the absolute best runner possible. It's just more what to do to be a dad that also has to go and run and still wants to keep their mind and their body fit.
Nice.
And I'm like, I'm all for that, man. Like,
we'll put it in the show notes, Moody Runs.
And all of a sudden, he's now amassed the following in 5 months from 0 to, I think, nearly 3,000 people.
Nice.
So because he's found a really cool niche, but he never done it for that. He just done it to actually document, and if he could offer anyone a little bit of advice, it would be on there on his page.
That's so good.
So that's what I love about it, right? So from going from someone that doesn't necessarily like running to then he's now doing London landmarks and trying to get into the London Marathon and stuff like that as well.
So that's the type of feed or Moody Runs I want on my loved one's Instagram feed that I mentioned, because that's all to do with growth and challenges. And
exactly.
Be watching that, not The Biggest Loser USA or whatever it might be.
Tempting as it is.
Fine. All right. So this is my last question.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to look deep, right? This is all about mental health, right? So if you were having a conversation with yourself, what is one thing that you know you're not doing to be the best version of Nelly that you should be doing?
Get personal.
I know.
No, I love that. I think creating the routine I want to create.
Yeah.
I think currently I don't have a goal in mind for anything. In particular, I got married in December. Don't really have any sporting events or anything coming up.
High Rocks Birmingham October.
Don't tempt me. It might have to be that, because I have become awful at going on my phone in the morning and literally procrastinating in the mornings, for an hour and a bit, maybe sometimes more. Like, you're waking up at 6 a.m. and you're not getting up till 7:30.
Wow.
That could be time spent in the gym.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
Are you on your phone solidly, or is that because you're newly married? What?
No. I wish it was that. On my phone solidly the entire time.
Yeah, that's got to change.
And that's got to change. So I think, that's the stuff I'm talking about being hypercritical about yourself. That's not even hyper, that's just critical. But I'm able to say that on a podcast and go, yeah, that's got to change. So I think that's a very easy win for me. Fine. And just see how you get to it.
So 2 things for you I'm going to challenge you on, and I want you to come back to me on then are, so rewriting your morning routine and booking your next event.
Fun. Won't promise to be Birmingham, but I will book my next event for sure. Have you done one solos yet?
I went to Spain to do a solo one.
Yeah.
I got off the flight. But I didn't do it because I got off the flight and went to A&E.
I think maybe we should challenge ourselves to do a solos.
London, December.
Oh, that could be good.
We green it now?
Yeah, we could. Yeah, come on.
Done.
Let's go.
Nice one.
That's a good way to end. Fuck.
Nelly, thank you.
Our pleasure, mate. Thanks for having me.